Were you carrying a gun then too?
Yeah, I stayed strapped. I mean, I'm strapped right now. Like, I can't go nowhere not strapped.
Like, I'm real with it, you know what I'm saying? I ain't got all that jewelry, but I got buku ammo, you heard me? Buku ammo. I ain't about no bling bling, and I'm about stinging.
I roll, you know what I'm saying? I roll, I'm a back a nigga up off me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know it. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know, nigga run up on me, you know I'm back up off.
Nigga just get hit and his whole head just demolished. Nigga, I'm fresh out of jail and I'm just so violent. Nigga, I just be wild and nigga be begging me not to squeeze. Niggas know one thing, I'm a tam, I'm a fucking G. Nigga, see, I'm fresh out. Angola was so much of a soldier, they start calling me soldier, not the soldier from Magnolia. But I'm from Magnolia with Vanna Street in front of it. Bitch, I go hard for the hood, nigga, I punish shit.
Ask you one question.
Go ahead.
Right now. What you might hear, what do you might hear from UNLV if you go out anywhere right now? What song you might hear?
You might hear Dragon from the River.
You might hear Dragon from the River.
You might hear Dragon from the River. I heard Mac Meth Callio in the party one time.
One time. Now, take that same principle and apply it to PNC. If you go to a party right now,
I'm going to hear Pump the Party.
You gonna hear that?
I'm going to hear that in there.
You gonna hear New Orleans Block Party in there.
I'm going to hear New Orleans Block Party in there.
PNC is still impacting the city.
You know, so we dissed UNLV. They think we dissed them like first, but really they dissed us first.
Let's define the term beef and what it actually means. Beef is a word that is widely overused around the globe. To keep it funky with you, it ain't beef if it's not on site when you catch your ops down bad. Internet beef, rap beef, street beef are all entirely different things. However, the rap beef that I'm about to talk about had an entire city picking sides. The city was New Orleans. The rappers were UNLV and PMC. This is the story of partners in crime versus the U, the N, the L, the V. UNLV was making noise in the city, what has come to be known today as gangsta bounce music. The original members of the group UNLV were Ya Fat Jones, aka Lil Ya, Reginald Manuel, aka Tech 9, and Albert Thomas, aka Yellow Boy. The U would release their debut album, Six and Barone, on Cash Money Records in 1993. UNLV wouldn't be the only local group making noise in the city. Partners in Crime, another rap group that hails from New Orleans, Louisiana, made up of Walter Williams, aka Kango Slim, and Michael Patterson, aka Mr. Mina. Tech, Ya, and Yella would all hail from Uptown, the UPT. Ya and Tech, who went to school together, would form the group UNLV and enter talent shows throughout the city. Yella wouldn't join the group until later. Michael Patterson, aka Mr. Mina, would also hail from the UPT. Unbeknownst to many, Mike lived in the Thomas, the Noya, the Joes, aka Josephine, in the 17th Ward, later moving to New Orleans East. In the NO, there's always some backdoor type shit going down, aka somebody trying to go with the move. That's exactly what would happen to kick off this beef. Partners in Crime, aka PNC, who would have an opportunity to sign with Cash Money, would pass on the label. It wouldn't be long before Baby would reach out to PNC as an opener for UNLV. Upon PNC leaving the stage after their performance, the U would take to the stage and debut their new song, a diss track aimed at PNC, titled UNLV Style. Baby had went with the move, setting PNC up to be clowned. This wouldn't sit well with Mike. That boy would be furious to the point where he couldn't sleep, hitting Kango up at 4 a.m. about what he had come up with as a response to UNLV. During this time, the local rap scene would be popping, the city would be rocking, the club would have showcases every week. Bobby Marchand Gong Show would also be in full effect. PNC, not yet signed to Big Boy Records, would take to the stage at the Big Easy and rock the crowd that responds, dedicated to UNLV, Pussy in a Can. From there, the beef was on. Upon signing to Big Boy Records, PNC released the diss song on their maxi single, pulling off one of the most disrespectful album covers to date. PNC and Sporty T would literally pull up on 6 and B to piss on the set, using the pic taken by Sporty T for the tape cover. This would spark beef throughout the entire city. Dudes from every hood were taking sides. The 13th and 17th wards, 2 wards that have historically had issues, would get even worse. There were even dudes out the 3 that were low-key siding with PNC. If you know, you know. Per Terrence Gangster Williams, the street hot boys would even step in at some point to make sure that the beef stayed on wax between the 2 groups. Keep in mind, it was all going down during the time the NO was ranked as the crushing capital of the world. Back of town and the graveyard was rocking with PNC, the Grove, the Capstan, etc. Although this beef had nothing to do with them, street dudes from different wards taking sides, some rocking with the U, some rocking with PNC. The arguments and fights would break out behind this rap beef, some even involving shots being fired. It was rumored that at one point, CMR would send threats to DJs that played the diss track in clubs. Musically, PNC had started to take off, although behind the scenes, Chuck didn't want to be known for being a bounce label. To keep it real with you, none of the local record labels wanted to be recognized as bounce labels, aside from the ones that were putting out strictly bounce music. They would be okay with the title. Although UNLV's music was bumping in the streets, only a few of their songs were getting heavy rotation in the clubs. Next to none would get radio spins. Meanwhile, the feel-good music that PNC was creating would have heavy rotation as well as being bumped in the clubs and bars. Baby and Slim, no fools to what was going on, would make major moves with the music that CMR was putting out. Sensing that UNLV wouldn't be in their foreseeable future, Baby and Slim will cut ties with the U, going on to release Chopper City in the Soldier Rag album. This will swing the momentum back into CMR's favor. It's never a race of speed, it's always a race of endurance, as PNC will continue to make timeless music that still gets bumped in clubs, bars, birthday parties, and weddings. Big Boy Records will later dissolve. PNC will move on to other labels, even hooking up with Juvie to release Club Bangers and We Are Legends under Juvie's UTP Records imprint. In the words of Juvie, I guess I'm the bad guy in this movie. Bump it up, here come Juvie. Myself personally, haven't seen anything from Kango, but Mike has gone on to author his own book, Untold, the story of an unknown legend. Link is pinned in the comments. You can also find Mike co-hosting the No Rap Cap podcast with Gaz. CMR will go on to become the biggest rap label in the music industry with 30 plus years in the business, spawning the careers of superstars such as Juvenile, the Hot Boys, Lil Wayne, Nicki Minaj, and Drake. With the release of BG, CMR has plans on putting together a Hot Boys reunion with all 4 original members, including Turk, regardless to the false narratives being spun on the internet. Just like the rest of you, I have no idea if or when it will materialize. That's if it does actually happen. As for now, I guess we'll all have to wait and see. This was the story of UNLV versus PNC.
You got Juve 18, you got Wayne 16, BG 17, 18. I come to take this game and bring it to me.
We had people that left, it ain't always been good for cash money.
You know, me with the money thing, that's just my life. That's been my life since I'm a youngster. I always been a hustler about money, so 5-star, you got to have money.
We having a little rock and rolls because a few legends then lost their lives, but besides that,
in 1986, 3 New Orleans teens would form the Ninja Group: DJ Baby T, Gregory D, and Sporty T. The teams will release We Destroy on Miami's Foresight Records. When the crew split, Gregory D would join forces with an up-and-coming DJ producer, Manny Fresh. Sporty T would go solo and sign with Big Boy Records. His first effort, Jackin' for Bounce, released in '94, would be a heavier and harder brand of bounce than what was being produced in the city. Sporty T would largely rely on unconventional sounds other than the 808, funk, soul, and jazz samples being used by up-and-coming New Orleans producers. Sporty T will go on to be recognized as one of the pioneers of New Orleans rap music. This is the story of Sporty T and Juvenile, the Soldier Rag Beef. In the late 90s, Sporty T would continue to rap under his own moniker, doing side projects with the Wet Boys and the Wild Boys. It was during this period that he would record numerous disses aimed at Cash Money Records, including the infamous Drop That Soldier Rag, a diss aimed at Juvenile's Soldier Rags. It was rumored that the diss record by the Wild Boys had been secretly funded by Master P, claiming that the group was comprised of No Limit artists rapping under different aliases. Let's rewind. Terrence David Vine was born September 26, 1966, to his mother Madeline Vine and his father Walter J. Vine Sr. In his teen years, Terrence would attend L.C. Fortier, where he would play cymbals in the band. The summer of '84 is when rap would really blow up in the city. This would be the same summer Run DMC had It's Like That and Sucker MCs. Slick Leo, live from the Famous, was spinning rap music like the DJs from New York. If you know, you know. Slick Leo would bump the masters of the turntables, New York Incorporated, Denny D, and Rockers Revenge with DJ AC. DJ Manny Fresh, Denny D, and DJ WAP would collectively be New York Incorporated. Sporty T's first attempt at rap would take place in his high school band room. After listening to a dude freestyle to Run DMC's Sucker MC's beat, Sporty would pen his first rap. Gregory D, Sporty T's partner, played in the band at his high school, McDonald 35. It wouldn't be long before Sporty would find out that buku dudes in the hood rapped. Sporty and his homies would later form their own rap group, the Ninja Crew. The Ninja Crew was originally Sporty, Gregory D, DJ Denny D, along with another DJ who would later go by DJ Lil Daddy. Unbeknownst to many, Gregory D wouldn't get with Manny Fresh until after Gregory D and Sporty would end their group. Before breaking up, the Ninja Crew would go around the city, winning every rap contest and talent show. Fun fact, Sporty, who didn't put partners in crimes in the game, would, however, be the first to put them on wax. Rumor has it that Sporty put PNC in the game with Chuck of Big Boy Records. It would also be rumored that Sporty T plugged PNC in with Gregory D. Sporty and Gregory D will go back and forth about who was the brains behind Foresight Records deal. At the time, Foresight only had Shy D, Gigolo Tony, and MC ADE. Sporty and his crew will record their first record on Foresight. Being from Uptown, Sporty and Baby would attend Foresight together. Before Eldrick was deleted, Baby's brother, Sporty would rock with Baby and Eldrick both. Sporty would later drop his own tape, You Need a Key to Get In, on C&M Records. It was after this that Sporty would be off the scene for a minute. By '93, Sporty had really made up his mind to take the rap game seriously. During this time, Cash Money had gotten bigger. They would now have Kilo G, Pimp Daddy, CMW, UNLV, and Lil Slim. Sporty, who was a fan of bounce music, vowed to never make a bounce track. The only rapper he would get props to would be Juvenile, who had released Bounce for the Juvenile. Bounce for the Juvenile would change Sporty's outlook on bounce music. After watching Juvie and Precise performing at the Big Easy, Sporty wanted in. Sporty would pen a bounce song that would be the first single on the newly formed Big Boy Records. Charles would nearly miss the opportunity to drop the record as Sporty would be approached by Baby with a proposition. It was this proposition that Sporty would use to apply pressure to Charles. As time would go on, Sporty's single would get hot, like hot, selling 4,000 copies coming out of New Orleans, which was a huge deal at the time. The success of Sporty's single would inspire Charles to pursue more bounce acts. Sporty would bring Mike Patterson, aka Mr. Mina, to Charles. Charles, who wasn't initially impressed, wasn't sure about bringing Mina on. It wasn't until he would hear Mina and his partner Kango Slim that he would realize how fire they really were. Sporty, who would eventually leave Big Boy, would start to really go in on Cash Money Records. Sporty would start his own label and drop his first record, The Saga Continues. TMR was about the shits, and on BG's True Stories, Wayne would take a shot at Sporty. No longer with Big Boy Records, Sporty would be confused as to why Ciamara was coming at him. On Tech 9, straight from the ramp, BG would take another shot at Sporty, referencing an incident where Sporty had got hit up at Club 57. Sporty would find himself going back and forth with Big Boy Records. This would be during the time Cash Money had just released Juvie's Soldier Rag album. Juvie would take several shots at Big Boy and Sporty on the album. Sporty and Chuck would still be on bad terms when Sporty would let Chuck hear his response to Soldier Rags. Juvie would go on to bust multiple subliminals at Sporty on his 400 Degrees album. If you know, you know. It wouldn't be long before Sporty would launch the Wet Boys and unleash a major diss track aimed at Juvie and Ciamara. Sporty would go as far as having a Juvenile lookalike for the diss video. The Wet Boys will release 3 more albums, putting out That Fire in 98, Get Wet in 2000, and 6 Feet From Home in 2001. Sporty T would drop over 10 bodies of work. Some of those bodies of work were Lucky for Bounce in 94 on Big Boy Records. The Saga Continues on Sporty Records in 96. Street Soldier, Big Boy Records in 97. Chromed Out on Rough Ever Records in 97. Still Going On in 97 on Sporty Records. Look What I Got on Go Get 'Em Records in 2001. A Brand New Day on Sporty Records in 2002. You Need a Key to Get In on C&M Records in 1991. 40 Talking Sporty in 93 on Big Boy Records. It's All Good on Big Boy Records in 1995. July 15th of 2008, Sporty T will be deleted. Unknown assailants with choppers were let off on the FEMA trailer that he was asleep in. According to the Times-Picayune, Sporty was in bed when the men hit up the trailer, striking his body. Sporty was 41 at the time of his deletion. The NOPD reported that the trailer was hit up 28 times. Police had no motive, suspect, or witness at the time of the incident. This was the story of Juvenile and Sporty T, the Soldier Rag beef.